Jai Hind. Today we are going to discuss genetic algorithm, one topic from the concept of machine learning. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss what is genetic algorithm. It is the concept of, it follows the concept of evolutionary computation. Then we will talk about prototype of genetic algorithm, and then we will discuss genetic programming also, one variation in genetic algorithm. So the slides I have prepared, my reference is Machine Learning by Tom Michel. So that are the source of content. So now let us talk about this search strategy. When we do any searching, there are so many ways to search the solution. From the possible hypothesis, we decide which hypothesis is followed in our problem. So now the point is, when we talk about so many methods like decision tree learning and others, in that or in Finders algorithm, what we do, we take general to specific hypothesis or simple to complex hypothesis. For example, in decision trees, we take a decision tree with single node. The node we decide based on the entropy, the information gain, and then we go on adding that until we get all the solutions. So that is complex, that is the complexity we are going to, we go on increasing and starting with the simple concept. Genetic algorithm is different from all these. It is not talking about the search from simple to complex or general to specific. What it does, it is population based. It generates the successor hypothesis by repeatedly mutating and recombining parts of the best currently known hypothesis. What we will have a set of hypotheses, then we will apply mutation and crossover and selection on those hypotheses, and then we will generate the next generation. The next generation will carry those hypotheses which are good, which are best among the current population. So next population will have more fitness. So when you are talking about more fitness, what does it mean? It means there will be some evaluation criteria of the fitness. At each step, a collection of hypotheses called the current population is updated by replacing some fraction of the population by offsprings of the most fit current hypothesis. So what we will have, we are having current population, then we will generate next population. How the next generation will be generated? The next population will be generated by replacing some fraction of population. It means we will carry the best fit population as it is to the next generation, next population, and few will be few will be generated by applying some operations. This process forms a generate and test beam search of hypothesis. So it is different from general to specific. What it has, it will have the generate and test beam search of hypothesis, in which variants of the best current hypothesis are most likely to be considered first. So we will see what is the best current hypothesis, and that will be carried to the next generation. What are the motivating factors? Evolution is known to be successful, robust method for adaptation within biological systems. So the motivation is from the biological system. As we evolve better generation to generation, next generation is better than previous, and so on. So human evolution is there. We started somewhere and then we are improving with generations and generations. That is the motivating factor. Generating algorithm can search the space of hypotheses containing complex interacting parts where the impact of each part on overall hypothesis fitness may be difficult to model. So, what we are talking about, what is the motivation factor? Based on the biological system, it is able to search the complex interacting space, interacting parts, which is very tough to model directly. And last point is, these are very easily parallelized. It means we can have the many generating algorithm running in parallel and can take advantage of decreasing cost of powerful computer hardware, as new generations of computer hardware are very powerful in comparison to previous, and many of the current algorithms are not able to utilize that resource power. So, as we can run a genetic algorithm in parallel, so we can run genetic algorithm parallelly on different CPUs or processors provided, available. Now, we'll talk about genetic algorithm. The basics will start with. So, how the algorithm work? The algorithm iteratively update a pool of hypotheses, which we are calling population. Iteratively it will run on the pool of hypotheses. The pool of hypotheses means we are having many hypotheses, so that is one population. In each population, one hypothesis will be one individual. On each iteration, all members of the population are evaluated according to the fitness function. So, what we were saying? We were saying that the best among these will be carried forward to the next generation. Okay, so how we will decide that it is the best? So, what we will have? Fitness function. So, the generation individuals will be evaluated with fitness function. A new population is generated probabilistically, selecting the most fit individuals from the current population. Which are most fit? How we are going to decide most fit? Fitted, that is evaluated with help of fitness function. Some of these selected are carried forward into the next generation population intact. So, what we are saying, that probabilistically selecting, we are generating the next, and few are carried as it is forward. Others are used as the basis for creating new offspring, which are good enough, they are carried forward to the next generation, and others are used as a basis for creating new offspring. It means the one which are having low fitness will be generating the new ones, new individuals. So, those will be forming the basis for creating new offsprings, individuals, by applying the genetic operations. The genetic operations are crossover and mutation, that we will discuss after the concept. Just we have talked about the motivation is biological evolution, how biologically human has evolved. Okay, so this comes, genetic algorithm comes under the concept of evolutionary computation. These are computational procedures which are patterned after biological evolution. Same is our genetic algorithm. So, genetic algorithm falls in the category of EC, evolutionary computation. These defines the search procedure that probabilistically applies search operators to set of points in the search space. So, this is the concept of evolutionary computation, and we are doing this the same way in our genetic algorithm. So, it falls under this category. Now, we will talk about the prototype of genetic algorithm. So, what we said that there will be a fitness function, there will be a population, one generation. In that generation, we will find the fitness of all the individuals, and the fitness that we are finding, that will form the basis of carrying some of the population individuals to the next as it is, and others will form the basis for generating new individuals. Okay, so this is our prototype. So now let us understand. So my prototype here is GA, genetic algorithm. We are having a fitness function to find out the fitness of the hypothesis. Okay, so what is fitness? A function that assigns an evaluation score. That score will tell that how fit the hypothesis is. Second is fitness threshold. What fitness threshold is giving us? The termination criteria. It will specify the termination criteria. Next, we are having P. P will tell us how many individuals are there in our population. So it is the number of hypotheses to be included in the population. Next parameter we are taking here is R. So what R is telling us? It is the fraction of the population to be replaced by a crossover. R is the fraction which will be replaced, or fraction of the population which will be replaced by the crossover, as we are going to bring some as it is to next generation, and some will be applied, will be used for generating the new offsprings. Okay, so R is that fraction. It is telling us that what fraction of population is to be replaced. And M is the last one is M. M is the mutation rate. Okay, so now let us discuss the prototype. So what is our first step? In our first step, we will randomly initialize the population. Okay, so P is my initial population. These will be generated at random because we do not have the way to decide what should be the population. So it will be randomly generated. Now whatever we have randomly generated, in that there may be few good hypotheses or may be bad. So what we will apply? The evaluation. The second step is evaluation. In this, for each hypothesis we will compute the fitness. So now whatever hypothesis we have taken in population, hypotheses are our individuals. So when we will compute their fitness, it will tell us how good the hypothesis is. Now what we will do, it is an iterative method, GA is iterative method. So what we will do, we will see the maximum fitness. And what actually we want to achieve the fitness threshold, which we have defined as the termination criteria. So we have to reach to the fitness score, fitness threshold. So what we will see from the current hypothesis set, what is the maximum? Is it the threshold required? If it is okay, then that will form the termination criteria. It means we have got the enough good solution. Okay, otherwise what we need to do, we will try to improve our solution. How we will do improve? The best fit hypothesis we will carry to the next generation, and others, a few more will be generated using the operations. So we will create here, while we do not reach to the threshold, fitness threshold, what we will do? We will do these iterations. So what is first one? We are initially having P population, but now we will generate the new one. New generation we have to form. So new generation I am writing here as PS. So we are creating a new generation. So how do we create? How will we create? Okay, so first operation will be select. We have already calculated the fitness of each hypothesis. So what we will do? We have initially said that R population, the fraction R, will be replaced by crossover. Okay, so what will not be replaced by? That is 1 minus R fraction. Okay, so we will select 1 minus R into P. P is the total population. 1 minus R fraction of that will be selected directly to the next generation. So probabilistically we will select 1 minus R into P members of P directly to PS. So these will be added to PS, the next generation. The probability PRHI of selecting hypothesis HI from P is given by this. See what we are doing, we are calculating hypothesis of each J is 1 to P. We are having P members in our population. So for each we are calculating the fitness. So what we will find out, proportion of fitness of each of the hypotheses, and what we will see, for which the fitness is high, the proportion is high, that will be selected. So now what is the probability that HI will be selected? The probability depends on this proportion. What is fitness of HI divided by the total fitness, that is cumulative fitness of all the hypotheses. So selection will be based on this proportion. So what we have done, we need to do R proportion. Proportion of the population is to be new generated. So what we did, 1 minus R into P generation population we carried based on the fitness. So few have been directly, few means based on 1 minus R into P, that has been carried directly to the next generation. Next operation is crossover. Now what fraction we have to find for crossover? R, that we took in our argument. So R into P population will be taken forward using crossover, will be taken, or what should we say, R into P generation is to be generated using crossover, that we have decided initially. Okay, so what does it mean? Crossover means it's a binary operator. Okay, so we need pairs. So R into P population we have to regenerate using crossover. Okay, so it means we will have R into P by 2 pairs, because total population is R into P. So we will select R into P pairs of hypotheses from P according to their probability PRHI given above. Above means the fitness value. It is based on the fitness value. For each pair H1, H2, we will produce 2 offspring by applying the crossover operator. And now these 2 offspring will be added to PS. Okay, so this much fraction has been added to next generation using crossover. Now what is mutation rate? That also we have decided initially, that is M. Okay, so M was the mutation rate. So what we will do, M% of the members of PS we will find out. PS is our just formed new generation, in which 1 minus R into P are carried directly and R into P are generated using crossover. So what we will do, we will find out, we will select the M% of the members of PS with uniform probability. It means we can select any, there is no proportion we are calculating here. Now in these M% of members, for each invert one randomly selected bit, that is mutation. What is mutation? Randomly we will invert any one bit. Okay, so what happened? Other than crossover, other than selection, we have got a new hypothesis in just in that we have inverted just one bit. Okay, now we will update the population PS to P. It means we will have now PS, the current population. The current population now will be PS. PS we have generated using selection, using crossover and mutation. Now we have got a new set of population. So for each H in P, we will compute the fitness function. Now again we will check the fitness function, and again we will check, have we reached to the threshold? If not, again we'll do these operations, selection, mutation, selection, crossover, mutation. Again we will find out the fitness and so on. Okay, so after getting the threshold fitness, what we will do, we will return the hypothesis from P that has highest fitness. So the current one is in very good position. hypothesis is having very good fitness. So in that, the one which will have the highest fitness will be the returned hypothesis, that will be the solution. Now let us understand how do we apply this concept to our real domain problems. So what is our basic requirement? That is how to form these hypotheses. What is the way to represent the hypothesis? Okay, so now here I have taken the example that there are some weather condition in that a player will play the tennis or not. It means play tennis is yes or no, it is comfortable to play tennis or no. Okay, so in that there is one attribute, input feature outlook, and one input feature wind. Okay, now let us explain this concept using wind. In this I am having wind is equal to strong. It means this is the given condition, wind is equal to strong. Okay, now the point is how will you represent it using in such a way that you can use genetic algorithm. So what we do, we represent all the conditions through hypothesis. And what are these, what are form of these hypotheses? Strings. Generally it is binary string. It is not mandatory that it will be a binary string, but generally what we take, binary string. If I take this example, in this I am having an input feature which is having here value strong, and in the total set there are two possibilities. Wind could be strong or could be weak. It means I have to form a binary string in which I am able to represent it is strong or weak. So what I need, I will take 2 bits. Wind is representing, hypothesis is getting represented with 2 bits. Why 2 I have taken? Because there are 2 possibilities. Wind will be strong or it will be weak. Okay, so first bit I am using for strong wind and second bit I am using for weak. Now as wind is given as strong, okay, so what I took, 1 in strong position and 0 in weak position. If the concept given was wind is weak, then it will be represented as 0, 1. The representation for a strong attribute will be 0 and for weak it will be 1. The attribute is wind. For strong value it will be 0, for a weak value it will be 1. Now if I take this example, outlook is one feature. Here in my example, the outlook is taking 3 values: cloudy, rainy and overcast. It means outlook can be represented in binary string form, but I need 3 bits. One for cloudy, one for overcast and one for rain. Okay, so I am taking this for cloudy, this for overcast, this for rain. Right, so it is overcast or rain. It means for cloudy it will be 0 and one for raincast, overcast and one for rain, because both are possible or. Okay, now if I take this example, now what is the situation? Wind is strong. Wind is strong, it means outlook could be anything. It could be overcast or rainy or cloudy. So all are 3. Where is the condition put? On strong value. Wind should be strong. So strong is 1 and wind is weak value is 0. Now play tennis is yes. What are the possibilities for play tennis? Yes or no? So first bit is representing yes value. Second bit is representing no value. Okay. So there is possibility, in this case, there is possibility either answer will be yes or answer will be no. So as the answer is yes, we will take yes bit 1 and 0 bit and no bit 0. If the answer might have no, then we will represent that 0, 1. It means value bit corresponding to yes value will be 0 and no value will be 1. This is one way of representing the hypothesis, binary representation. Now crossover operation. In this we are having two operations, crossover and mutation. In crossover operation, what we do, we take two input strings. These are representing two individuals in the population. Bits have been used to represent the individual hypothesis. Okay, so what is crossover? In single point crossover, what we will have a point of crossover. A point of crossover. The next offsprings, next generation will be generated from here. How? We'll take few features from first and other features from second. This is crossover. So what we are having in this, the initial are taken from first, other features are values are taken from second. Same way, the second offspring is having first part from second hypothesis and second part from first hypothesis. So crossover has taken. How do we do it? How do we implement it? We implement it using crossover mask. Till the point of crossover, we will use all ones and then we will use all zeros. After doing the AND operation, we will get this answer. Okay. Same way we can have 2-point crossover. 2-point crossover means we are having 2 points of crossover. So what is there? We will take this part from first, this part from second individual, and again the third part from the first one. So this is multi-point crossover. So we can have 1, 2, 3 points of crossover and generate new population. Uniform crossover, that is also one multi-point. In this, what we will have, uniformly we will take values. See, the 2 has been taken from this, then 2 from this, 2 from this. Uniform crossover we are going on taking. And the other operation that I told you is mutation. What is mutation? In mutation, we randomly invert the bit. So what happens? We are having an individuals with some fitness. Now we need a different type of some more eligible hypothesis we are searching for. So we are trying to get that best one. Okay, so we will simply change one bit. It will give us the next one more offspring that is separate from previous existing. So mutation is for generating some new properties which has not been yet not been included in our hypothesis considered till this point. Whatever hypothesis we have included this till this point, it is something different from that. Okay, so that is having a totally new pool of answers of hypothesis. The mutation is applied. When we are applying the fitness function, then we are selecting the most fit hypothesis. So one method we have already discussed, that in which we will calculate the fitness score and the proportionate, how fit that particular hypothesis is in respect to all others. Okay, there are other methods also. Why we search for other methods? Because it leads to crowding. Crowding means 2, 3, 4 hypotheses may be having the same value for this probability. So we are having other options also. One is tournament selection. In this, we select H1, H2, means 2 hypotheses at random. Randomly we select, and from there with probability P, we select the more fit. From there we select the fit one. Second is, another one is rank selection. In this rank selection, we don't find the proportion, but what we do, we sort all the hypotheses by the fitness value, and whatever is the probability of selection we are taking, that will be proportional to the rank. what is rank of this particular hypothesis. So this we have discussed. This is the cycle of reproduction. We will start, we will generate initial population, okay, then we will calculate the fitness value of all the hypotheses, then selection operation will be applied, then crossover operation will be applied. A fraction of in selection, a fraction of hypothesis will be carried directly to the next generation. In crossover, some fraction of hypothesis will be applied, will be taken as input to crossover operation, and new offspring will be generated. Once we have generated this new population, we will apply mutation. Mutation means to find out or to explore some hypothesis which we have not yet tested. Okay. Then after doing all the operation, we'll check again the fitness. If we got the required fitness, we will stop, otherwise we'll go to the same process again. We will be doing the same process again and again until we get the fitness threshold, means the solution is good enough to use, and then we will end the process. This is our GA cycle of reproduction. Genetic programming. Genetic programming is also based on evolutionary computation, and it is like our genetic algorithm. In this, what we have the same operation, the same type of population, crossover, mutation. What is the difference? Why we call it genetic programming? Because in genetic algorithm, we are having strings as the input. The population is string. Now we can use the genetic concept for programming also, that is genetic programming. In this, the population is not bit string. These are not bit strings, these are computer programs. How these programs are used, manipulated by GP, the genetic programming, these will be represented by parse trees, and these parse trees will be input to all the operation. Okay, how these parse trees are formed? Each function call is represented by a node. The function is represented by a node, and its operands are taken as the descendant nodes. For example, if we have this to do, here what we have to do, sine of x plus under root x square plus y. Okay, so what we are adding? The sine operation. So the function is used here, its descendant is its operand. What is its operand? Sine. Now what is the argument of sine? That is x. Okay, sine of x has been calculated. Same way, plus is sine x plus under root of x square. So x square plus y. So the nodes had been, the nodes are actually functions that we have to perform. As in genetic algorithm, the typical genetic programming algorithm maintains a population of individuals. Now these individuals are program trees, the parse trees. On each iteration, it produces a new generation of individuals using operation, selection, crossover and mutation, the genetic algorithm operation. The fitness of a given, in that we were having the fitness evaluation function. Now what we will have, the fitness of a given individual program is the population is determined by executing the program on set of training data. We will have test data. On that we will run the program, and based on that, how many test cases it is clearing. Based on that, we will find out how good the program is. What is the fitness of program? That will be calculated from here. Okay, the crossover operations are performed by replacing a randomly chosen subtree of one parent program by a subtree of the other parent program. How the crossover is done? It will be done on the subprograms. See this, we are having one current individual hypothesis, another hypothesis, so we can cross over. How do we cross over? We will take the part of subtree, this one and this one. So what has been done? It has been replaced with this, and this has been replaced this. Crossover. Some part of the trees are exchanged with each other. This is crossover operation. Same way we can do mutation. We will change some part with some other value, some other function. Okay, so that will be mutation. So this is our genetic programming. So in this particular video, we talked about the genetic algorithm, the concept. We discussed that it is a population-based algorithm in which we apply some operators and we try to find out the best population. And we go on generating the next generation until we get some good hypothesis in our result. Then we talked about genetic programming, that is the extension of genetic algorithm for programs. Thank you. Jai Hind.